Hey there, thank you so much for your patience watching at home. We are in the first champion select of the night, and it looks like Noctis is starting things off with Anarchy into ShinobeNinja from ShinobeNinja.
That's definitely one end of the seesaw, ShinobeNinja and Anarchy, but going into the Nyx pick, three very small champions with the Blazkowicz, Nyx and Anarchy, and as you can see, Visor and Galena as well. Galena, I think, on this map in particular, very useful. I mean, those sort of small twists and turns that you can take, putting the totem down in basically unreactable areas through teleporter entrances, or exits I should say, and those corners where if you're trying to retreat you just might not be ready for there to be a totem that does 75 damage. If you're Anarchy and you've just done a 75 damage totem with no armor...
If you haven't got any armor, you're probably dead.
Yeah, I mean...
Unless you've popped a few injections and you're like, you've got a little bit more than that. But for the most part, that is the majority of your life gone.
I think Anarchy controlling the heavy armor is unbelievably important, because even if you get the mega health, you can't really take a lot of hits, but going straight into Corrupted Keep, this is the map with... Hang on a minute, that was... yeah, I was about to say, that was definitely a warm-up. Early frag. So we'll talk about Corrupted Keep. Anarchy versus ShinobeNinja. This is a matchup where Anarchy does not want to get hit by that charge at all.
No, of course. But one thing I want to point out, and from that champ select particularly, is absolutely zero hesitation. These guys knew exactly what they wanted to pick. They did not think twice about it.
Noctis in particular, like I think he knew what team he wants to pick. So going in with this map, I think the BJ Blazkowicz is going to be really dangerous because that sort of close quarters, especially if you manage to nab something like a lightning gun. But we'll talk about that in due time. Already securing the heavy armor. Now this is also quite important, I think. Making sure Anarchy doesn't get sort of picked off for free by those high damage weapons.
Of course, Noctis was able to secure that heavy armor, but Shinobi was able to return with the mega health, and obviously that's a ShinobeNinja with that too, and you can see just by the health bars under the characters alone that ShinobeNinja has a ton of health in this game. So if these guys just fight straight up 1v1, Shinobi's going to have to hit him a lot less.
Going in for the nail gun, really trying to sort of pick off some of that damage. Does get a couple, but not really enough to make him face. Hang on, going straight in for the bolt charge, but the rocket jump to dodge, and an immediate frag into first blood. Good reactions from Noctis.
That was such a good play as well, though. Noctis, if he got hit by that charge, ShinobeNinja's ball rush doing so much damage, especially to squishier characters, and Noctis with that clutch rocket jump to get away, but he's going into the second fight straight away. Wow, he takes out Galena instantly.
Manages to catch a good spawn, and the lightning gun's going to be super superb. He's just sitting there listening out for the respawn, I think. If he can catch a good sequence, he's got max health, he's got max armor. At this stage, all he has to do is catch it, going in for the gauntlet assassination, doesn't get it, and the lightning gun is going to clean that one up, and a very quick 3 lives for Noctis.
That was super fast as well in just round 1, but Noctis, no fear already. Going straight in. Anarchy not knocked off his first champion straight away.
I think that's actually quite a confidence booster. If you know you're going up against a player like Noctis as well, it's like, if he gets that sort of snowball going early on, it can be a little bit demoralizing, but straight into the same selection. Shinobi going in for the ShinobeNinja straight away, but stealing the rocket launcher away. Now ShinobeNinja with no rocket launcher in this situation is not a good situation. That's no doubt going to be a frag.
No, of course, but again, that ShinobeNinja down straight away. That is all that health gone immediately.
Both power-ups, or sort of the health pickups, both going to be down for a few seconds, but Noctis actually caught sight of Shinobi already, trying to take the LG, almost sort of denying it from Shinobi as well.
Now, the issue Shinobi could have here, though, is Galena's quite a setup-heavy character, right? You know, if you can really start getting those totems in difficult places, but Noctis is almost like really just doing all that damage straight away. She did manage to pick up the mega armor, though, but Noctis doing a lot of damage here, poking down, and still has some of that overcapped health ticking down, so still quite healthy.
That would have been a terrible situation if he got caught with the armor and the health, but I think picking up the heavy armor, that's going to be at least a good start for Shinobi, but right now it just looks like Noctis is just doing a really good job of just commanding everywhere on the map. As I mentioned though, this is a map with no railgun, but right now Noctis doesn't really seem to need it. He's doing loads of damage already.
That was actually a really good job of just zoning Shinobi off that rocket, so if he did commit to picking it up, he was going to take a ton of damage in the process, and he did, and Noctis with a little bit there, tanking out already. Now he's got control of both mega pickups. Shinobi once again sent on this Visor, last by himself. He's fully stacked. This is probably going to be a kill if he doesn't drop this.
Yeah, absolutely. 6 straight lives. Noctis completely yet to be forced off the Anarchy, but once again, 2 rounds, it's going to be a 3 out of 5 on the maps now, so he's still got to get 1 round to win the map. However, on Shinobi's time, on his side actually, he has no other option now. He's got to take 3 rounds, and that's it, he's going out.
But again, you know, that's also quite a recent change, you know, changing duels to this 3 out of 5 round format. And again, oh, that's a direct rocket.
100 damage as well, that was painful.
Ouch, that's going to hurt even on someone like ShinobeNinja. Oh, good read on the rocket, he's catching him again. There's the ball rush, but no, the rocket is going to stop him dead in his tracks. And again, Noctis with first blood.
I mean, ShinobeNinja takes reduced damage when he's in his charge, but it doesn't matter. Gets a really good spawn, actually. Heals a little bit with the totem, but the totem's going to be down now for quite a while. Just really keeping him at bay, popping the injection, fully ready to go for the next fight, and the mega health. And It just looks like Noctis is just doing a really good job of commanding these health pickups. He gets heavy armor and mega health together. Anarchy with the speed he's got access to, the weapons as well, catches another rocket. And at this stage, I mean, no doubt we're going to see him chase here. I mean, no reason not to.
You know, he knows he's done a ton of damage here. We can see Shinobi quite low on health, goes up the jump pad anyway, straight into Noctis, waiting there for him. And once again, Shinobi finds himself with a 3rd round in a row on this lone visor, looking to make the mountain comeback.
I think 9 rounds in a row is going to be quite demoralizing. I think he needs to at least try and get a life down, but right now Noctis just not letting him do it at all. Now he's forced onto Visor. Visor's ability in this situation though against Anarchy, who can navigate the map so freely, I don't think it matters too much that you can see him.
Especially if Noctis is going to hit a direct rocket from that far away. Shinobi, he was trying to stack up on the armor, but already you can see most of it down, and Noctis has control over these megas, trying to go around behind him here, picks up the rocket, taking that away from Shinobi.
That's very important as well. I mean, even if you don't need the ammo, just deny it from the opponent. Don't let them get going. He's going to really sort of stay here, control the mega health. Probably going to take it for himself, but why not? Just let Shinobi try and take it and get the frag there.
Well, it is here, but he's not rushing to pick it up. I think he wanted to make sure that he had that safe place to go, because I think actually maybe he was trying to wait it out to sort of sync up the respawn time with mega armor at the same time. Yeah, so he just goes from one to the other straight away, and he's going in for this.
I think actually on this map, Anarchy, the fact that there's no rail, he's going to do such a good job of dodging the rocket every single time, and the lightning gun as well. That was a very commanding game one.
It was indeed. But I mean, that's kind of what you expect from these seasoned Quake veterans, just coming in, and that's a bit of a confidence booster for Noctis in his first tournament set in the Quake World Championships, not being forced off his first champion for 9 straight rounds. That is, I think, as close to a perfect start as it gets.
I mean, it doesn't get any better than that, do you know what I mean? So bear in mind, DueL in this tournament is a 2 out of 3 maps. So just because Noctis has taken this map, it now means that Shinobi has the option to manually pick his next map. So you kind of wonder what map he's going to pick. Is he going to try and maybe take a map that not necessarily makes it harder for Anarchy, because he's good on every single map, but at the very least, a map that's better for Shinobi, more of like a personal pick or something that complements his champions a bit better. On the flip side, he may have the chance now to change champions, because it didn't really work out too good there.
Well, what would you recommend in this situation, or what do you think we might see him go to? Because
well, you're definitely going to want a map with a rail on it for Anarchy, for sure.
Yeah, for sure. But he definitely, when it comes to champions, again, no hesitation when he was selecting his champions. He knew the 3 he wanted to go with. He picked them straight away. Do you think maybe he's going to stick to it, or are we going to see him switch it up?
Well, I think it entirely depends on how he feels in the situation, because when you look at it on paper, Anarchy versus Scalebearer on like quite a close quarters map, you would expect it to almost be quite good for Scalebearer, in the sense that all he has to do is land 1 charge, which is going to be quite difficult to dodge in those close quarters environments. Maybe like Blood Run instead.
I think it depends where you start that bull rush, because Scalebearer's ability, for those of you watching that might be, checking out Quick Champions for the first time, bull rush is he'll charge straight forward, massively increase his speed, take reduced damage while he's charging through, which goes hand in hand with his passive, which is if he's moving a certain speed, he will actually damage enemies on impact, which means if you charge through an opponent, the faster you're moving, the more damage you'll deal to them on hit, which on a lower health character like Anarchy or Nyx, you don't need a max charge to do that much damage to them, especially if you've caught them without armor. But that's easier said than done versus someone who is as mobile as Anarchy can be, if they've got that space to move around like we saw on sort of the outskirts of that map there. But also, if they're just a good player and they're good at dodging it, right? They see it. Even like the very first round, that rocket jump to go over the bull rush. I mean, if that was any less of a player, that would have been a guaranteed kill. But Noctis was able to react and go, okay, I need to move quickly. Shot right at his feet, which is usually risky with someone like Anarchy to do self-damage point blank with a rocket.
I think the damage of the rocket compared to the damage of the charge is going to be all good. But it just shows experience and how comfortable these top Quake players are in this environment. I see a bull rush, no problem. However, I just mentioned Blood Run is going to be the map, so do we see the same? No, goes in for Anarchy himself. We are going to have a mirror match on deck. Noctis going in for the Nyx pick again. I would be surprised if we don't see him completely just mirror his champion selection from last time. But Shinobi as well going in for the Sorlag. Sorlag can absolutely shred a champion's health. I mean, I know the acid doesn't do as much damage as it used to. However, the ticking damage of 10 every time is still going to be really effective, and just the level of which Sorlag can tank, she's really effective versus those light champions.
So speaking of which, we've actually seen Noctis swap up Blazkowicz with Ranger this time. Do you think that's, do you think maybe the Blazkowicz pick was in response to what he saw from Shinobi, and seeing that he's obviously changed up Sorlag, Scalebearer has been sort of Sorlag now. Do you think he maybe almost picked Blazkowicz as an answer to Scalebearer?
Well, that's potentially, I mean, that's one of the best things Blazkowicz is able to do. But I think Ranger on Blood Run in particular, he's really the Dire Orb. Bear in mind, it's quite a sort of vertical map. There's quite a lot of stuff across the top and the bottom, and if you jump down, you know, you have to sort of like really use that jump pad to get back up or a teleporter. Ranger has got that extra element of mobility, you know, where if he's on the bottom of the map, he can just throw the dire orb out and basically go wherever he wants. He can take the mega health from the bottom and then immediately go straight back up and then take the mega armor as well. So, you know, either way, no doubt we're going to see all that stuff.
I will say though, Shinobi able to kill Noctis's Anarchy in the warm-up. if anything, maybe that could be a little bit of a boost. It's definitely a way to get things going.
So we're going to see what champions we go into as this match gets started. Yep, Anarchy Mirror kicking things off and immediately going in, stealing away that mega health. And the situation, I think, Noctis already getting incredibly stacked. He's now got both the heavy armor and the mega health. That's going to be kind of difficult for Shinobi to sort of answer back with, I think, especially seeing as they're both the same champions on the rail. Absolute deletion there.
Well, that's actually going to be a big difference for this map particularly, is now there's a rail. If you're accurate, as I'm sure Noctis is, you can really get that damage on deck. Actually pops the injection, the junkie, just to get that health damage ticking down. It's been nullified completely, and just like that, Noctis has already found himself, again, 2 champions up.
I mean, this has been a very quick map. The injection as sort of like an answer to dealing with that ticking damage was very useful, but in this stage again, just taking that trade all day, he'll happily get it. But tags the rocket, he now knows where Shinobi's going to be.
There's near the mega health, but nowhere near respawns. He has a little bit of time to work with, though. Shinobi goes in for this rocket, hasn't quite the damage just yet, has taken quite a lot himself. We can see Noctis already has a lot of health and armor left and hits a rail.
That's a very important rail to get hit by. It's going to force him to run away, but he's not going to be able to do it. And again, well, how many rounds straight this time? So many.
I mean, it's currently on 12. 12 straight rounds or 12 straight characters, I should say. 12 straight lives with this Anarchy is dangerous, proving to be very dangerous.
Well, I think it proves the strength of Anarchy. He's going to go in, probably try and take the mega health once again, but this time uncontested. Instead, I think Shinobi going to take the heavy armor instead.
Yeah, they did swap it out, so armor for health, but at the same time it is Anarchy. Both really as fast as each other, but going to see Noctis getting those prediction rockets, just trying to zone him away.
But in this situation, it's just really who catches who first, especially in a mirror match situation. Does manage to catch sight of him. Tags a couple of rockets, doesn't manage to connect any so far. And again, really trying to predict. Noctis trying to sort of control this area. You can tell he really wanted to sort of sit there and control the heavy armor, but just like that.
Well, the armor is there, though. Did you see the mega health went down to Shinobi? So for once, Shinobi is able to really stack up, though. The question is, can he use this enhanced health to his advantage? Quite a lot of damage from that rocket, and the second.
Oh, catches him with the rail rise, he escapes, and actually right as the injection comes through as well. Trying to wait by the teleporter, but not going through it today. But again, just this entire round, Noctis has been sort of sitting on this ledge, trying to really sort of control where the health and the armor is going to spawn. If he can control this area as Anarchy, especially in this sort of Anarchy mirror situation, if he's got more armor and more health, he just has absolute advantage.
Of course, and once again, you can tell he's waiting for this heavy armor, just respawns, bags it up, and that's one so important thing that we're seeing all these players go for, and I'm sure we're seeing it as a running theme for this entire championship, is just controlling those mega power-ups, just, if anything, stopping your opponent from being able to pick them up themselves, just to stop them getting that snowball, that sort of comeback potential. You know, if you're controlling the pickups, you have the advantage, especially if you're up on champions.
Almost like a level of sort of like timidness. I think Shinobi's not really being very confident in trying to sort of push these pickups. He's kind of letting Noctis kind of really seize them for free. Does manage to sort of get away there, but as I said, actually not quite, not at all. Tags in with a rocket as well, and just like that, forced onto his Sorlag.
Picks up the mega armor once again. There's that control. Knows that Sorlag has just spawned, so not going to have the chance to stack up armor yet, but it looks like he is actually doing a good job of going to pick up the smaller ones around, picking up quite a lot of this armor so far. Oh, he gets caught. He didn't know he was there. Caught him from underneath with a lightning gun. That's a ton of damage.
No,
and cannot get
misses the teleporter as well. Tries to run through the teleporter. Doesn't manage to get it. Takes all of that unnecessary lightning gun damage, and Noctis gets the mega health.
Well, that's the danger of being ambushed with the lightning gun, you know, sort of just keeping you suspended in the air, pushing you away from where you want to go. That could be insane amounts of damage, and once again, Noctis able to control the armor. There's the lightning gun going in for it. Wow, and that is going to be it. Noctis cleans up Galena once again in the second round.
It's definitely not just a matter of trying to control the health, but it's controlling those weapons the opponent needs to use to try and make a comeback, going straight in for that rocket and going, you know what? These rockets hurt. If I can not only keep you from the rocket, but I know you're going to be there to try and take it anyway. A really good call, and that paid off. Oh, a little bit slow on the rail, doesn't tag it, but they get the heavy armor anyway.
I think that's almost like a testament to how fast Anarchy can be. 7 seconds into the round, and Noctis had himself a rail and the mega armor. That's insane.
Yeah, that's just one of the strengths of the champions. Tries to catch him from behind, but again, Noctis actually going to answer back, completely chasing it.
Oh, missed
the
rail. You see he's trying to shimmy side to side, and just to get away. Good dodging there from Shinobi, but Noctis pops the injection, trying to chase him down, but yeah, Shinobi is out of there.
Shinobi is going to be ready for it, and unfortunately tries to run in, snag up that mega health, but Noctis absolutely ready for it.
But that kind of goes to that sort of mind game situation, you know. Noctis read that he was going for that mega health, waited for him, and got that direct rocket in reaction.
Again, really sort of trying to control the high ground. Tags him with a rocket again once before he goes for the teleporter, taking all that damage. And another rocket comes through. Noctis just unchallenged this entire series.
I think that was a bit of a call out there, though. When Noctis did so much damage to Shinobi, he saw that he was low on health. And Shinobi, he actually waited for him at the exit of the teleporter. He was still waiting despite being so low on health.
Yeah, Shinobi had to try and get out of that one. He knew he didn't want to take any more rails. Just let him take the mega health. And again, let him take the heavy armor. Noctis, this whole set has been so stacked up and just looking completely unfazed. And 100 damage rocket forcing Shinobi away, but Noctis smells blood.
He's going in, and yes, he does. He manages to get that final frag, and Noctis looking super strong, and once again, not even knocked off his first champion in Anarchy.